The tourist didn't hold back. He threw a cake at the royal guard, thinking his money gave him the right to do anything. But the guard's response was so unexpected, it left everyone in shock. What happened next turned the whole day upside down and made the tourist remember it forever. But it all started with that one audacious move. London, an autumn morning shrouded in a light fog. Westminster Abbey looms majestically, its Gothic architecture softened by the mist. The Royal Guard stands resolutely at their post, embodying British tradition and honor. Lieutenant James Harper, the epitome of discipline, adjusts his pristine red tunic and maintains a flawless stance, his presence a testament to unwavering commitment. A bustling crowd of tourists surrounds the Abbey, more focused on capturing the perfect selfie than appreciating the centuries-old customs. Among them is Viktor Ivanov, a hefty tourist decked out in a garish Hawaiian shirt and a towering straw hat. He's the quintessential visitor who believes his money grants him every privilege. "Hey buddy, smile a bit. Even your uniform looks dull," Viktor shouts, laughter bubbling from his entourage. James remains composed, offering a polite nod without responding to the mockery. Seriously, who does Viktor think he is? Just because he's paying for the experience doesn't mean he can belittle a symbol of national pride. "We all know the Royal Guard isn't here for your entertainment," you might think. But James stays silent, his quiet demeanor delivering a powerful, unspoken rebuke that Viktor clearly ignores. The crowd reacts in mixed ways. Some burst into laughter, others shake their heads in disbelief, and a few pull out their phones to document the unfolding drama. "Can you believe this guy?" one tourist whispers. "He's just doing his job," another retorts, eyes fixed on Viktor's antics. James's face remains impassive, yet inside, he feels the tension mounting. These interactions aren't new, but today feels different, more intense. Viktor steps closer, attempting to touch James's iconic bearskin hat. "Let me see that up close," he demands, his tone dripping with entitlement. Seriously, who does he think he is? James thinks. It's infuriating to watch someone disrespect something so revered. The air thickens with anticipation, and it's clear this day is on the brink of chaos. Everyone senses it. James's patience is wearing thin, and Viktor's behavior is about to push things over the edge. As the fog swirls around them, the clash between the guard's dignified tradition and Viktor's blatant irreverence becomes palpable. James stands as a pillar of honor, while Viktor represents the modern disregard for cultural symbols. The stage is set, and the tension is almost unbearable. What's next? You can't help but feel a mix of anger and anticipation, knowing something's about to change everything. Viktor and his crew weren't backing down. Each minute they edged closer to Alexander, their actions getting bolder. Viktor reached out, fingers brushing the soft bearskin of Alexander's hat. "Let me see that up close," he repeated with a smug grin. Seriously, who does he think he is? It's not a souvenir to be trifled with. Ivan, another tourist, seized the moment while Alexander was briefly assisting an elderly lady. "You must have been here forever," Ivan chuckled, pulling out his phone for a selfie with the hat dangling from his hand. "Come on, give me a smile, hero." Alexander remained calm, yet firm, retrieving the hat smoothly. "Please respect the uniform," he stated evenly. But Viktor wasn't done. He tossed a few coins at Alexander's feet, expecting a reaction. "Look at this, guys! Free entertainment!" The crowd started to stir. Some tourists laughed, others frowned. "This is just ridiculous," whispered a nearby visitor. "Why are they treating him like this?" But Viktor pushed further, stepping over Alexander's boundary line. "Hey, guard! You're blocking the view! Move!" In his attempt to impress friends, Ivan leaned too close to the horse, accidentally kicking its side. The horse snorted and stamped the ground, startled. Chaos erupted. Coins flew, cameras flashed, and Viktor laughed, oblivious to the growing tension. Alexander felt his patience snap. Inside, anger boiled. How dare they disrespect centuries-old traditions for a few laughs? Outwardly, he stayed composed, issuing precise commands to regain control. "Everyone, please stand back." His voice cut through the noise. The crowd's mood shifted. What was once amusement turned to concern. "Is he okay?" someone asked. "We need to calm down," another urged. Victor's group began to sense the gravity of their actions as the atmosphere thickened with tension. "Really, Victor?" a fellow guard whispered, watching his confidence wane. The tourist's entitlement had crossed a line, and the public was no longer entertained. Alexander's steadfastness stood in stark contrast to their chaos, highlighting the absurdity of their behavior. As the horse settled and order was restored, murmurs grew louder. "This is why we need to respect traditions," a bystander commented. "Look at him, handling everything like a pro." Victor glanced around, realizing he had pushed too far. Maybe now he'd understand the line he'd crossed. Alexander stood tall, a beacon of honor amidst the fallout. The crowd's support was evident, their earlier amusement replaced by admiration. It was clear Victor's antics had gone too far, setting the stage for what was to come next. Amidst the chaos, a piercing scream shattered the tension. A little girl had dropped her toy dog, and it slipped between the horse's hooves, sinking into a muddy puddle. Without hesitation, Alexander sprang into action. Breaking protocol, he approached the frightened horse, issuing calm, authoritative commands. His hands moved swiftly, gently pulling the toy free from under the hoof. "Look, everyone! Even the strictest can show compassion," Alexander announced, locking eyes with Victor. Instantly, the crowd fell silent. Victor's smug grin vanished, replaced by a flicker of respect. Applause erupted as spectators watched Alexander's heroic move. "Wow, didn't see that coming," one onlooker whispered. "He's more than just a guard." Victor stood speechless, the weight of his actions sinking in. He took a step forward, his bravado gone. "I'm sorry," he admitted, his voice shaky. "We went too far." Ivan, feeling guilty, helped Alexander guide the horse back. The tension in the crowd eased, replaced by collective relief. "Maybe we really pushed it," Ivan conceded, scratching his head. Alexander nodded, his expression softening. "Thank you. Let's remember why we're here. To respect and honor these traditions." Phones that had been snapping photos now captured Alexander's heroic act, quickly spreading on social media. Comments poured in, praising his actions and condemning the tourists. "True honor," one post read. "Respect our traditions." Victor and his group stood silently, their earlier laughter replaced by remorse. The crowd's attitude had shifted unmistakably, from mockery to admiration for Alexander. As the fog began to lift, revealing the grandeur of Westminster Abbey once more, Alexander adjusted his hat and returned to his post. The crowd parted with newfound respect in their eyes. Victor lingered for a moment, offering a sincere apology, before joining his humbled group. "Guess we all learned something today," Ivan said quietly to Alexander. "Respect goes both ways." Alexander gave a dignified nod, pride swelling in his chest. The crowd dispersed, leaving behind a sense of triumph and renewed respect for the Royal Guard, a true symbol of British heritage. Alexander's act of saving the toy dog went viral instantly. Social media exploded with clips of his heroic move, hashtags like #TrueHonor and #Respect. Traditions flooding feeds worldwide. The crowd's mood shifted overnight. Laughter and mockery turned to shame and embarrassment for Victor and his group. Victor glanced around, his earlier confidence evaporating. Tourists who once laughed now looked away, some whispering apologies. His phone buzzed non-stop with videos condemning their behavior. This isn't a stage, he realized too late. Alexander adjusted his hat and returned to his post amidst a wave of applause. "Finally, some respect," someone in the crowd muttered, echoing everyone's thoughts. Victor stepped forward, his voice barely above a whisper. "I'm sorry," he admitted, eyes downcast. "We didn't mean to disrespect." Ivan, feeling the weight of his actions, approached Alexander. "Yeah, we crossed the line," he confessed, helping steady the horse. The once chaotic group now moved with subdued steps, the earlier bravado gone. Security gently escorted Victor's group away. Tourists walked off with heads bowed, some wiping away tears of embarrassment. The crowd watched, a mix of approval and disappointment on their faces. "Who does that?" One spectator shook his head. "Some people just don't get it." A man approached Alexander, pointing to his flawless hat. "Now I understand why you guys are so serious. It's true art," he said with a smile. Alexander nodded, a hint of a smile on his face. "Thank you," he replied, pride swelling in his chest. As the crowd dispersed, the atmosphere remained charged with respect. Victor's group was gone, but the lesson lingered. Tourists began to understand the importance of honoring traditions, rather than mocking them. The day ended with a sense of restoration, leaving behind a story of humility, honor, and the enduring strength of true tradition. Alexander stood tall, the embodiment of tradition and honor. The fog lifted, revealing Westminster Abbey in all its glory once more. He resumed his vigilant watch, knowing today had reaffirmed the significance of his role. The crowd's respect was palpable, a silent vow to preserve the dignity of the royal guard. "Guess we all learned something today," Ivan said quietly to Alexander before departing. "Respect goes both ways." Alexander gave a dignified nod, the weight of tradition and the triumph of respect settling comfortably around him. The day ended with a sense of restoration, leaving behind a story of humility, honor, and the enduring strength of true traditions.